Welcome to Evolve, Mastery for Leading a New World, with CEO and award-winning author Yvette Bethel. This podcast is dedicated to supporting leaders with a variety of solutions to build trust, inspire authentic change, and improve morale within your organization. Learn how to grow your people, build your culture, and transform your results.
Welcome to Evolve, Mastery for Leading the New World. I'm Yvette Bethel, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this episode. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? No two cultures are the same. Even if they have similar qualities, these characteristics manifest in different ways. I've encountered collaborative work environments where persons can be ready and willing to work together. I've also come across innovative teams that are focused on creating, planning, and implementing. On the unproductive side of the spectrum, I've encountered cultures that are exceedingly dysfunctional, and this characteristic persists because there's no accountability to healthy interaction. In hostile work environments, bullies take deliberate action to sabotage or trigger coworkers, abusing their power so they can win at games that are intended to hurt a person or group of persons, but end up hurting the entire institution. There are bullies lurking around the office who feel they can make themselves look better when they put down members of their teams. They don't welcome new suggestions. In fact, they are so destabilized by new ideas that they reject the idea as not viable, or they say that they already thought of it. And then they criticize both you and the idea behind your back. Some bullies get angry because they confuse a suggestion with criticism. They take everything personally. The bottom line is that they're threatened by your creativity because in their minds, they should not be questioned and their ideas are the only valid ones. So they seek to destroy other persons when their self-esteem is especially low. When a coworker or manager is threatened by another coworker, a number of tactics can emerge. Some bullies insist on having employees follow their instructions to the letter. They don't allow thinkers to think. But hold on a minute. They can't afford for thinkers to think. They might be questioned. Free-thinking employees are unafraid of speaking their minds. This is a huge risk for bullies because they may perceive you as putting their jobs and livelihood at risk. And so their survival instincts kick in, and you end up in the line of fire. When survival instincts activate, bullies attempt to harass their coworkers in different ways. They make veiled or unveiled threats, or they withhold something you earned. To turn up the pressure, some bullies tell lies to manipulate others into turning against you so they can control you or have something on you. They don't care if they damage your reputation in the process. Some manager or supervisor bullies take control to extremes by constantly keeping tabs on employees they're targeting, calling them frequently at odd hours, and sending emails that reek of pettiness or accusatory overtones. There are oftentimes no limits to the tactics bullies will deploy. They can resort to negating everything you say, telling lies, minimizing your contribution, taking corrective action for reasons that do not warrant it, frustrating you with unwanted assignments and narrow-mindedness. They also ignore or interrupt you, sabotage you, display negative body language, practice unethical behavior like delaying or reducing your raise, and directing angry or loud outbursts toward you. They gossip about you, constantly insult, or fire condescending remarks at you. In environments where bullies exist, there's fair and unmistakable tension. Everyone on the team feels it, no matter who's being directly affected. When this happens, employees tend to move into avoidance mode because they do not want to be faced with constant direct assault. In some circumstances, employees can feel trapped because if they tell the bully about the undesirable behavior, the behavior could worsen. If employees tell their boss's boss about the behavior, this can also lead to continued or worse harassment. If employees report the behavior to a lawyer, they could experience other complications that jeopardize their employment in the long term. When executives are made aware of bullying within their teams and they do nothing to correct it, it may be because they are friends with the bully and cannot see beyond the picture the bully paints for their boss to buy into. There are other circumstances where executives may be afraid or compromised and cannot take definitive action. In cases like these, nothing may be done by the executive, or the bully receives a meaningless tap on the wrist. Bullies don't like being exposed to even a tap on the wrist, so this can cause them to attack those they perceive as the persons who expose their behavior. Then there are unpredictable bullies who swing from being relatable and friendly to angry, unpredictable monsters who spew insults and caustic remarks without discrimination. The persons on the receiving end live in an environment that's palpable with the fear of the next surprise attack. Bullies can create costs within an organization because interaction with them will be avoided unless it's absolutely necessary. If avoidance is the chosen path of the majority, your business results can be compromised, new ideas limited, employee morale can be low, the quality of customer service can suffer, and you can lose good employees to the competition. When employees choose the avoidance path, sometimes they will embellish the truth in order to circumvent an unpleasant interaction with the bully. Self-preservation mode becomes the order of the day. Sometimes everyone in the organization is afraid of the big bad wolf. Employees, their peers, their supervisors, and executives. Author Robert Sutton recommends a number of tips for surviving bullies. They are, firstly, reframe how you see things and understand that yielding is not giving up. Secondly, develop your emotional intelligence. This will help you navigate dysfunctional behavior designed to destabilize you and keep you in line. Thirdly, if you can, limit your exposure to the abusive behavior. And finally, create an exit strategy if you have done everything you can to create a workable solution. Bullies take delight in launching attacks on others and refuse to acknowledge the effects of their behaviors. Take note, I am not advocating running away from your problems. I support attempting various solutions and then, if they don't work, decide what's best for you and your career. You may never use your exit strategy, but you know it exists. In some organizations, employees are expected to resolve their issues with the bully bosses. This puts the employee in a difficult position because they are being asked to confront a bully who has to rate their performance and determine their compensation at the end of the year. Bully bosses can be successfully neutralized by their bosses if their bosses take ownership of the challenge and perceive the need to take corrective action. First line of action is the provision of opportunities for counseling or coaching or training of the bully boss. If opportunities for self-development don't help the bully boss, determine if the bully can be rehabilitated and if they can otherwise operate effectively in another role. You can consider a lateral placement. If you feel there's a possibility that you may be a big bad wolf, admit it to yourself and seek support. Don't ask your team members if they're afraid of you because if they are, they will never admit it. If you are being bullied, take a look at the pros and cons of your options. Understand the risks you're taking, as confronting bullying is not an easy road, especially if bullying is a blind spot among decision makers within your organization. Thank you for joining me at Evolve Mastery for Leading a New World. I invite you to join me this and every Monday for a new episode. In the meantime, remember, if you are experiencing a bully boss, develop a transitional strategy you can use to end up in an environment that's respectful and supportive.
Thanks for listening to Evolve Mastery for Leading a New World. Visit YvetteBethel.com to learn more about Yvette's leadership programs and to download her free gift, Success Tips for Igniting Your Career.